Hello everyone, this is my troll horn texturing tutorial. In this video I'm going to show you how I textured my troll horns to be somewhat realistic, and the model we're using is a cow horn. Now I got these off eBay. I had them lying around my house for another project, and so I thought I'd pull them out for this project. And as you can see, the texture is very interesting. It's got sort of a number of little channels and just little holes that go in sort of towards the base of the horn that give it a really interesting texture. So we're going to be trying to replicate this with our own horns. So the things that we're going to be using to make our texture today are just a piece of copper wire, some straight pins. They're very different sizes. This one's slightly wider than that one. And for the final touches we'll be using a wire cat brush. Just anything that has a long shaft which you can use to sort of stab to create those textures. And finally, if you do happen to have horns lying around the house, or anything with sort of an irregular texture that has little ridges going along, that can also help texturing these horns. So I've already gone and done a little bit here. I actually tried to record that, but my camera ran out of batteries. But you can sort of see the progress here. I started out with using the copper wire and just sort of making little depressions, pointing the length of the wire towards the base of the horn. Now you can either hold your wire fairly parallel to the horn like this, or you can sort of come in more at an angle like that. But the key is to vary those angles so that you get an interesting variety of texture. So at this point I'm ready to come in with the larger straight pin and just keep doing what I was doing before. And again, if you vary your angulation, when you come in, you get something that looks a bit more interesting. And the key is to really just get a whole lot of these holes and textures going on, because the more that you do, the more interesting it's going to look, and you're also going to be able to cover up some of the mistakes that you make. So like if your horn is really lumpy in one area or something, texturing it will help to hide that lumpy area. The inside surface of the horn is a little bit more tricky to deal with. You want to make sure you're not coming in like this. You always want to come in perpendicular to, or rather parallel to, the long axis of the horn, so that you get the correct texture. Are we still going? Alright, we're going. I'm paranoid now. My batteries died on me. And as you get up towards the apex of the horn, just be a little more gentle with your stabbings. You don't want it to be too gouged out near the top. And just sort of vary which implements you're using. It's actually quite relaxing. Try not to make things too evenly spaced, because you want it to look rather random and stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear my stupid cat in the background. He's paying attention more. And if you have stupid little projections, like right here, it's also a difficult area to get straight on, so do your best with those areas. And it's really for the best if you start texturing a little bit after you have sort of smoothed out your clay and everything, because that way it will be a little bit more resistant to small deformations, and you don't have to worry about it like irreversibly wrinkling or doing dumb things just because you're holding it. So I'm going to bring in the cat brush and just sort of lightly tap it to get that final effect. And really the key is to not skimp with the straight pins, because you've got a whole bunch of these little small ones and it's really easy to make a bunch of big holes with the copper wire, but the real nice looking stuff is going to be from the pins, so make sure you don't skimp on those. And that's about it. Once you have finished, you can just let it air dry, and after that you're good to paint. So that is how you make a realistically textured horn.